Hi, it's Chris Watkin here with Grantham and Rory from Dataloft. Boys, talk to me about Dataloft. What does it do for estate and letting agents? Talk to me.
I'll let you start this one, Rory.
We've been going for almost 10 years now, and I guess what we do is we make sense of data. So we have access to huge sets of data. We drill through that data. We find really interesting trends and insights. We then package them up really nicely. We're obsessed with the visual side of things like infographics. If we can make data into a bit of an art form, then we will. And then we work with our clients to help them demonstrate their expertise in the market. So really, I guess we're quite a unique mix of a bunch of Savills, ex-Savills analysts and other analysts who are brilliant at finding those stories in the data, and then designers and marketers who bring those to life. So it's kind of we're creative market intelligence people, really.
Grant, what do you want to add to that?
I think everything that Rory said there, Chris. I think that, I joined in September. I said I've been in and around the property market for
That's 2018.
18, so yeah, nearly a year. And I think that was one of the big things that appealed to me was, I've been in and around a state agency before that. But when I looked at the proposition, I really bought into it quite quickly, I think.
So what do estate agents and letting agents actually get for their money?
So it's a mixture. The at the sort of base of it all is it's incredibly hard for them to delve into huge sets of data and make sense of it.
Okay.
And
You keep saying the word data. What do they actually get in their hand, and what can it physically do for them?
yeah, so we have a range of products. So we have two sides to our company: Dataloft Consult and Dataloft Inform. On the consult side of things, we create very bespoke, tailored bits of research, and we package them up normally in really beautifully designed market reports. So we write all the copy, we create infographics.
So on screen now, we've got some examples of what you do for charters. What exactly do you do for them?
Yeah, so essentially what we do for charters is we help them look like they know the market inside out all the time.
Okay.
So they were a new player on the block, new kid on the block in Winchester about 10 years ago. And they wanted to hit the ground running with a bang and for people to look at them and think, wow, these guys know the market. And so the way we did that...
I don't know anything in the UK that comes anything close to it. They're amazing. What you do with that?
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, well, we
Amazing. I mean, it's not cheap, but at the end of the day, you get what you pay for in this world, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, we're lucky we do that for lots of other clients like Winkworth and Foxtons and KFH and other big brands, but it works so well for them because, they produce this beautifully designed we produce a beautifully designed 4-page report for them. They door drop that to 60, 70, 80,000 people. They pull out all the elements, use it for social media. They drop it onto their website for lead generation. And people just associate with them with being the local expert.
They're the go-to people. I mean, it's interesting you mentioned the word Savills. I mean, Savills are the ones that started all this 20, 30 years ago, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very much so. So, Savills now have about 25 people that do nothing but crunch data. And they've built their whole brand profile out of showing that they know the market better than everyone else. And that's very much what our other clients come to us for. And actually what we do slightly differently to Savills is we were very micro. We go right down to kind of what's happening on a street, right down to postcode sector. And so as an agent, they can show that they know their market really inside out in depth. Whereas actually when Savills produce a report, there's a slight London bias to it with a bit of local. We're all local with maybe a bit of London.
So what's the inform section? What's all that about?
Well, I think that's the beauty with, what charters have. This is a more cost-effective way, I guess, of agents being able to interact with their clients, which I think personally is one of the things that is not always done. And the ability, like social media, as a previous agent, I think that the difficulty is on social media is having great content that's going to either increase your followers, engage people, and I believe there's such a here and now mentality that some agents don't think it's about looking what they see on social media now might affect someone coming to you in 9, 10, 11 months. So the infographics, what we do, are fantastic. Very visual, very bright, engaging. So not only do you get the reports that you can engage with your clients monthly, weekly, however. So Inform is a really good, cost-effective way of adding real value to your business, I think.
Yeah, so the reason we created Inform was because what we wanted to allow agents to have is access to that kind of market intelligence every day. So it's constantly evolving, constantly updated. So week in, week out, they can consistently share their knowledge of the market.
So what's it doing? It's almost like an online thing that just basically chucks out graphs and numbers that you can use in social media and things
Absolutely.
like
So I guess it's a great data set of market intelligence for whatever catchment area, postcode area you are as an agent. So that first increases your knowledge bank of the area, and you can demonstrate that to your clients. But then, how do you give something tangible to your clients that demonstrates what you've spoken about? And that's the beauty with Inform. It spits you up lovely market reports, branded, your details at the bottom. And it's a great conversation starter for agents.
that. So it's a great way to prove that you know what you're talking about on listings,
Absolutely.
touting, social media, everything.
Yeah, it started out as a way of bringing land reg data to life really quickly, so you don't have to do all that effort yourself. And very much started out as this is a tool that can help you with your valuations. This is a tool that if you take out a market report to valuation, for example, will give you that extra bit of professionalism. And then we introduced things like really nicely designed infographics, which go on 8 times a month. And they went down like a storm.
Amazing.
And
You like those, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so it sort of evolved from a tool that's both brilliant for knowing the market and being up to date with market conditions and talking about the market with clients. We have a client in Sunderland, for example, who there was a local developer who was doing the rounds on a street looking for a local agent to help them sell a development. And he went to about 7 or 8 different agents. And when he came to our subscriber, which was a Martin and Co office,
I know Chris well, he's a good lad.
yeah, Chris Poulton up in Sunderland, he said, "Well, we'll come in and let's have a look at the market together." So he logged into the forum, he brought it up on the screen, and said, "Yeah, look, here are the latest price trends. Here's what's happening with transactions. Let's change the chart and look at new build." And so he talked about the market, but what he did was he was able to demonstrate that he knew about the market rather than just chatting.
It's interesting because if you look at what Peter Knight does with his Property Academy reports, the number one reason that people choose an estate agent is apart from trust, and the problem is it's very difficult to prove trust on social media,
Absolutely.
is they choose the agent that knows what they're talking about.
Knowledge builds trust, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. But the other thing on Inform I really like, and I think it's the thing we've tried to develop this year, is the widget. So you can have, if you're an agent, there's a big debate in the agency world about what's your website primarily there for, and being able to have real-time metrics about your market and then turning that into a bit of a lead generator. It's a really strong added value piece when we're a society now that wants everything now. So like in the evening, to be able to go onto your website as a consumer and see the property market in your area, I think it's a great.
Yeah,
great
I mean, you're the
add to-
same, Chris, with what you do, but it's and we've heard you talk before, and we agree with your approach, which is, what as a consumer, how could you be the most relevant agent to your audience? And so the best way to do that is to talk to them about their most prized possession, which is their house.
Well, as I say, it's funny how estate agents always seem to talk about themselves, and no one really cares about agents. They care about themselves and what their house is worth. So why don't you talk about the stuff that your potential customers are interested in?
Yeah.
Maybe we could talk about in the next video how agents can do that in a much deeper basis and actually get some business off it. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
Lovely.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, Chris.